Hi, I'm Leslie and I'm a homeschool mum, and I'd like to share with you today how to use a workbox system. It's something that's really made our life a whole lot easier. We've been homeschooling for quite a few years now, and I remember reading a review about a year and a half, 2 years ago that said if you're really serious about homeschooling, you need to dedicate an area for school. Just as if they were going to go to school, they would have a classroom, they would have resources, they would have all of these things available to them. Now, everybody that homeschools has their own way of doing it, and some do natural learning, and some do unschooling, and some do eclectic, and some do classical, and those all different ways. So I'm not saying this is the best way of homeschooling, but it really worked for us. It was just, you know, you have those moments, and for us that moment was, we don't have a dedicated area for the kids. We're expecting them to just work at the dining table and just to fit in around this. And of course, what was happening in our household for that was the telephone would ring and business would go on and meetings would happen and the kids would get put second, and it just really didn't work for us. So I decided to research what is a workbox system and how does this work. And it's designed by a lady in America. It's called Sue Patrick, and you can Google Sue Patrick's workbox system. And so I bought the Sue Patrick's Workbox System book and I read everything I could on it. And we'd had a whole lot of things that really weren't working for us with our homeschooling, and we tried it. And I remember reading in her book, she said, just follow it to the letter for the first month. Then after that, you can tweak it and see what works for you. Within 3 days, I couldn't believe how easy our life became. We now have 2 homeschool children. We've set up an area downstairs in our house that's dedicated for their work area and their homeschool resources, and I'd like to share with you what that looks like. So if we have a look here, this is child 1's workstation and her workbox system. Over here we have child 2's workstation, workbox system, and I'll just stay there for a sec. I'll just put some lights on. This is the pod where we work, so I'll show you that in a second as well. So basically, a workbox system consists of a schedule strip. So here the children have their desks and a schedule strip. You can put on that schedule strip anything that you like, and then you've got a series of workboxes. There's a few ways they work. One is left and right brain hemispheres, how they work. Basically, what the child does is they sit down here in the morning. The first thing they do is my children do it this way anyway, they take off a sticker that says, I'm ready to work. They stick it onto a Velcro tab there, and we found there was a whole lot of talking going on. The kids would be starting to do their work, but it was mum this and mum that, so we made another one that said, quiet please, and that goes on there too. And it's a reminder for the kids that they're working as well. So if they start talking a whole lot, I just point to the quiet please, and it's amazing how quickly it works. You'll also notice they have some other stickers here on the side, all Velcro to the desk. This one says, I need assistance. So if they get up to something that they really can't do, they've got 3, I need assistance, and they can stick that on the workbox. If I'm busy and I can't help them right now, we can come back to that later. Then they'll take their workbox schedule strips and they'll begin. Now I've set these up, it's late at night at the moment, and these are already done. The kids are in bed asleep, and I have to work tomorrow and I work from home, so I need to do a few things in the morning. So you can schedule around that so that it's not really a problem. You can fit around it. You can have work with mum or work with dad or do household chores. So the first thing on my son's schedule strip tomorrow says clean the driveway, and we put household chores on here as well because we think that that's all part of living together, and he just jumps out, gives the driveway a quick sweep. Second task for him is go and feed the chooks and give them some water. Then we move on to workbox 1. So as an example for him tomorrow, workbox 1 for him tomorrow, and it will be different every day, but this one is an extension of yesterday. You'll notice it's got another sticker on it that says file these papers in the folders. So these are all the finished work he did yesterday, and it says science, history. So he'll take all of these, file in your science folder, and he'll file those, hole punch them, pop them away. So it means I'm not doing all the packing up, and he's responsible for his papers and he knows where they are. So what he'll do is he'll take workbox 1, he'll take I'll move this chair out of the way. He'll take number 1 off his schedule strip. He'll stick it onto here. That says he's now working in that workbox. He empties everything that he needs out of it, plonks it on the floor down here with him. He works through this paper, and when he's finished, he takes the paper and he puts it in his file box or his workbox. Now this workbox doesn't go back in here. It stays on the floor for him because energetically for him, he sees, or psychologically, he sees throughout the day that this is emptying and there's less and less and less work to do throughout the day, and this is filling up. So mum should be pleased with me because there's quite a bit of work that I've completed throughout the day. So they get a sense of achievement as they're going. Then he comes to Workbox 2. It's got a couple of personal tasks on a note that he needs to do in here. Workbox 3, he's got a maths workbook that he's working on tomorrow, and I've just put a page, oops-a-daisy, I've put a page tab on the page that I want him to complete throughout the day. So he will open to that page tab. He'll do this, which is geometry tomorrow, pop it back in there when it's finished and move on. And he'll work through his day that way. You may notice down here, one of them, we used to take snacks and breaks, but I found the kids would go upstairs and they'd make themselves a snack and they'd disappear. They'd get sidetracked by something. So now I just put a little snack in there when we get up to reading. And this one's got a reading book in here from the library. And on the front it has 30 minutes reading. And usually I would have a kitchen timer in there as well, which I've forgotten to put in. I'll have to go and get that. And so they would take that out, set the kitchen timer for 30 minutes, and they're happy to just sit on the couch or relax, do whatever they want to do for their reading. At the end of the day, then they work through that, they've completed for the day, but there'll be other things on their work schedule strip as well. So for example, here it says lunchtime, so they'll go up and have some lunch. Then we've got a work with mum, and I've made these up so they have our own photographs on them. So work with mum. You'll notice also I've stuck up here, just because one of my children gets a little bit sidetracked and has a bit of a time management issue going on. So I've said 12 p.m. work with mum. So not only is it saying that I want you to work with me, it's also saying I want you to work with me by 12 o'clock. And he knows that he needs to basically be finished at that point so he can work with me. And what we're going to do at 12 o'clock tomorrow, you'll notice I've got a laptop set up wired through the television. There's an amazing website you can go to called khanacademy.org, and so I wire up the laptop through here, I put it on this, and I can control this with a mouse onto the big TV, and they can watch a full lesson given by professional teachers. So tomorrow at 12 noon they'll be studying part 2 of the French Revolution. Then after that, it also has a new sticker that says work with your sister, and also go to the explore station. So you can set up explore stations throughout the room. I'll just pop these back so they're ready for him tomorrow. So they have a fairly simple explore station tomorrow, and I've set it up over here. You can have a look. They're going to work together. So there's 2 chairs here, and they've got atlases of the world for their explore station, and a sticker book and a note that says Google the flags of the Oceania region and find the stickers for them. So we've got the Oceania region here. They'll find the stickers of those particular flags for the different countries in the Oceania region and stick them on. But you can have anything. You could have cooking set up or science set up or whatever you wanted to. This is my daughter's workstation. Basically exactly the same, you can see, but a little bit more girly. She also, I've put up the timeline for her, but she wants to know what we're doing for these ones. So in hers it says at 12 p.m. work with mum, and we're doing the French Revolution level 2. We're having lunch, and then we're working on the World Wide Web because they're doing computer studies. She also likes to get certificates and awards, so she'll have those made up and put them here, and she's currently learning her times tables. And she likes to have bits and pieces. Typically with a workbox system you don't have any bits and pieces, but she likes them. This one doesn't. So this is how a workbox system, at the end of the day, when they're finished, you'll notice there's also another sticker that says I'm finished for the day. They remove the I'm ready to work and they pop the I'm finished up. It seems really simple, but it gives them a really, really good sense of achievement, and they kind of have that sense of clocking off for the day. I've finished work for the day. I don't need to do anything anymore. And you'll notice she went to a craft store and bought these sparkly strawberries that she wanted for her number boxes, and tonight you'll notice we're missing one. I'm not quite sure where that one went to. I've got to see if I can find that one upstairs, and so I've popped one on the floor for her to work with tomorrow. And for me, the workbox system gave us back our life. It meant that we progressively went through whatever I wanted them to study. I've got free time in between their projects, or if I need to answer emails or make some phone calls or do some laundry or go and do some business work, I can do that. So if you're struggling, if you're looking for a direction, if you're the sort of person that likes a bit of structure in what you're doing with your homeschooling, give the workbox system a go. We have free days as well. We have days where we go out and we do socialising, we go to the park, or we have excursions, or some days where we have pyjama days. But if you're looking for those days where you really want a little bit of structure, have a go. Everyone's will be a bit different, but I hope you've enjoyed sharing ours tonight. Thanks for watching.